So today, we want to dig in just a little deeper and define and clarify what generosity is in the eyes of God. Better yet, the question we're going to pose is what marks true generosity? What marks true generosity? And so we're going to be in Mark chapter 12. And Mark chapter 12, as you turn there, it talks about a time, maybe just about a week before Jesus would pay the ultimate sacrifice. And he teaches us a powerful lesson on what is the true mark of generosity. And I believe it's something that can impact every single person in this room today. So what makes the true mark of generosity? I believe there are three things that we can take from this text. But the first one is this, that God sees you. Here we have Jesus. Here we have him in the midst of this mass turnout for the Passover, and yet it's the widow that he sees. We know that God sees us. That's even a name that's given to him. The Jehovah Jireh. In Hebrew, that means the God who sees me. He's talking about the giving boxes. What they were called were the shofars. The 13 shofars. And because they looked like trumpets, that was a statement used. They're blowing the trumpet. They're going to the trumpet to be heard, to be seen in the synagogue, to grab attention. If we are doing what we're doing to be seen, that is the only reward we're going to get. And so Jesus, he witnesses this. He sees this woman. Not much. But she gives quietly everything she has. And he tells us to beware of the temptation. Beware of the temptation of recognition. Beware of the temptation of wanting others to think we are so generous and so spiritual and we just got it all figured out. I want you to know this. God sees you. He sees those acts, those small acts of love, of responding to a text message, of listening to someone in turmoil, of giving to someone in need. I mean, what a beautiful thing to witness Operation Christmas Child boxes coming in and Thanksgiving boxes coming in so we can care for the community. That we're not just talk, but we're truly trying to help the community. But whether we give and serve, just know that God sees you and he rewards those who give in secret. You know, for some of us, this is encouragement, right? You know what, that's a great reminder. I needed to hear that. I needed to know that all those things that I do behind the scenes to help in the numerous ways in work and family and church, you name it. We hold our time tight, we hold our gifts tight, we hold our money tight, and really, sacrifice is not a term that I would use or we would use for our lives. And so I hope this is a moment to have a holy pause and just be silent with God and say, what does our giving reveal? What does our heart reveal when it comes to generosity? Be real, be honest. God knows anyways. And so we see in point one, the true mark of generosity is God sees what you're doing. Not just publicly, but privately. The second mark of true generosity is it's measured by sacrifice. There's that word that's a posture with God. In other words, the measurement used to evaluate your giving is sacrifice. So let me ask you this question. When you give to the Lord, are you giving less than your ability, according to your ability, or beyond your ability. That's the heart of this generosity journey. Again, it's not about the number. It's about stretching your faith and trusting and breaking through excuses and fears and what ifs. Because again, true generosity isn't measured by the amount you give. It's measured by the sacrifice behind it. Motivated by faith. All the motivation was by faith. But look what it says in verse 44. For they all contributed, all, out of their abundance. But she, out of her poverty, has put in everything she had, all that she had to live on. They gave, again, he's not giving the scathing rebuke to the rich. They're being obedient. It just doesn't hurt as much. For her, it hurts. For her, it's livelihood. She's poor. She's a widow. She probably doesn't have family. At that time, women didn't work. It was very rare for a woman in ancient Israel to be in the workforce. The most precious thing I possess. And Jesus, it's yours. So I give you my all. And I have faith. You see this mark of generosity. It's built on faith. God, I truly believe that you are good for your word. I believe when you say you are for me and you will help me and you'll protect me, I believe that in this life or the next. And she didn't give what she had left. She gave what was everything. Out of her poverty, she poured out her whole life. And in her gift, we see a glimpse of the cross where Jesus gave his whole life for us. I love how it says it in 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 9. It says, the greatest, most profound act of generosity is the gospel. Jesus paying it all for you and for me. We don't give of our time, our talent, our treasure for forgiveness. We don't give of our time, talent, and treasure for heaven. Like, that's already been paid for. It's already been accomplished. It's a free gift. We've received it. This isn't a transactional faith. We give in response to the transformation of our heart. Our giving is motivated by our faith, by what Christ has done in us. And that faith grows, and we become more sanctified in his image as we spend time with him, sitting at his feet, reading the word, praying, and there's joy, and there's gratitude, and there's a spirit of perseverance because we know we've gained the most valuable thing in the world, which is a relationship with Jesus Christ. And so then the temporary treasures of the world, they start to become just a little less important. And it fades, and it fades, and it fades, and we start to have eternity in our eyes. We start to look ahead and see something greater than even the here and the now. Yes, generosity is marked by sacrifice, not selfish gain. And so the questions I want to pose to you are, where are you? Where are you? Where are you on your own generosity journey? You look at your time, your talent, your treasure. Where are you on your own journey of sacrifice? If you've never given before, I would say your first step is to start giving. To start learning the power of generosity. If you've given, and you've given maybe sporadically or when there's a little cushion, I want to challenge you to give consistently, to live with a posture of faith on a regular basis.